Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to show you how I made a pattern for this infinity play suit. You all remember that I made a post some time ago. I asked you to vote for a tutorial that you want to see next, and you guys voted for this infinity play suit, but it was unfortunate that I was not able to post it immediately because I was not feeling really well. But today I'm going to show you how I made my pattern, and also I'm going to show you a new method on how you can take your measurement, calculate it proper to get your crotch measurement, most especially if you're making a jumpsuit. Okay, so if this is something that you are interested in, stay with me. Let's get into it. My name is Juliet if you see my channel for the first time, and if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, you kindly do so. Right, let's get into it. So this picture you are seeing is the most important measurement that you need to know about, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do that, all right? So here is me here. As you can see, I'm wearing a very fitted pant, a high waist fitted pant, okay? So you are advised to wear a fitted pant for you to be able to get this accurate measurement, okay? So I'm taking my round hip circumference. So my round hip circumference is 39, okay? So that is what I got after taking this measurement. All right, make sure you are going to place your tape proper. Okay, so my round hip circumference is 39. So the next measurement now is to take the circumference of my crotch. So I'm going to place my tape from the front of my waistline. I will take it across to the back waistline, okay? So you are advised to wear a fitted pant so that you can be able to get this measurement accurate. And what I got is 28 inches. So that is the measurement you will need for now. So guys, the next thing now we are going to be doing a calculation, which is going to involve in addition, subtraction, and multiplication, okay? So yeah, division rather. So the circumference of my crotch is 28 inches, okay? So that aside, and then my right hip circumference is 39 inches. So I'm going to divide it by 4, so which is 9.75. So 39 divided by 4 is 9.75. And then my crotch extension is 2 inches. If you haven't seen the tutorial where I explain how to calculate your crotch extension, I'm going to leave the link down on the description box so that you can go and save that, okay? So my crotch extension is 2 inches, adding back to the 9.75, which is 11.75, okay? Remember when you are drafting your front pattern, you usually drop the front weight from the center front. You usually drop it with 0.5, right? So I just minus the 0.5 from this 11.75, so I left with 11.25. So this is the 0.5. I just kept it there. I'm going to add it back to my back pattern, okay? Okay guys, so now let's work on the back pattern, okay? So I'm going to repeat the same process like I did for the front, okay? My hip circumference is 39 inches. I'm going to divide it by 4, which is 9.75, okay? And my back crotch extension is 4 inches. And I'm going to add it back now, 4 inches. So 9.75 plus 4 is 13.75, okay? So I got 13.75. So I'm going to add the back raising. You know, you need to raise your from your waistline, from the back, center back, you need to raise it with 1 inch, okay? So 1 inch plus this 0.5 inch that I minus from the front, so that make it a 1.5. You can make use of 2 inches. You can raise your back, your front, your center back, the waist. You can raise it with 2 inches, okay? So now I add all this measurement together, I end up having a 15.25. So initially, my crotch depth, okay, my crotch depth minus the waistband is 9.75. Take note. So I'm going to add all this together now. My front crotch depth and my back crotch depth. So 11.25 plus 15.25. So the answer is 26.5 inches. This measurement is minus the waistband. My waistband is not including, okay? So now I'm going to say plus 2 inches waistband. So it's give me a total of 28.5 inches. So now we are going to start by drafting the pattern, and I hope you understand my explanation. So now I'm going to place my tape from my waistline to mark my crotch depth, okay? From my waistline to my crotch depth is 9.75. So I'm going to repeat this measurement twice so that I can have a straight line. I'm going to connect this afterward. So back to my waistline again, I'm going to place my tape here to mark my hip line. So at this point, I'm going to make use of 7.75 inches. That is my hip line, okay? From my waist to my hip line is 7.75. So I'm going to connect it. So I also label it. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my short pants measurement. So at this point, you can make use of any length that you want, because I'm making use of a short a play suit. So my short pant is going to be 18 inches, okay? So I'm making use of 18 inches. I'm going to repeat this measurement twice so I can have an accurate line. Now after I'm done taking my vertical measurement, the next thing I'm going to be working on horizontal measurement, which I'm going to be placing my hip circumference. Quarter of my hip circumference divided by 4 is 9.75, okay? So I mark it at my crotch line. So move on to my waistline. I'm supposed to mark that 9.75, but you always know that I always eliminate any bulge from my waist, okay? From my abdomen rather. So I mark 1.125 to eliminate the bulge, okay? So I'm going to connect it from my crotch line to the waistline. So the next, I'm going to be taking the I'm going to be marking the quarter of my waist, which is 7 inches, okay? My waist is 28, divided by 4 is 7, okay? I'm going to add 1 inch from that intake. So this pattern has that, okay? So I'm going to get my French curve roll to connect it like this, okay? So the next, I'm going to find the midpoint between my waist, okay? So I'm going to place my tape like that, and I got 8 inches divided by 2 is 4 inches. So that is the midpoint. So from my hip line, I'm going to mark 2 inches upwards, and the rest of it is the length of my dart, okay? So from this midpoint of my waist, I'm going to mark 0.5 inch on both sides for my dart intake, okay? And then I'm going to connect it like so. So now this is my dart. So the next thing now, we're going to work on the front crotch extension. My front crotch extension is 2 inches. So the measurement, how I use it is on the screen. And then I'm going to, from my hip line here, okay, I'm going to mark 0.25 out, okay, 0.25 out, and then I'm going to place my French curve ruler and curve it. So you remember the 0.5 inch that I told you that you're going to minus from the front here. I just minus it now. I drop my center front, okay, the center front, I drop it with 0.5 inches, all right? So this 0.5 inch, we are going to add it back to the back when we are drafting the back pattern. So I'm going to find the midpoint between my crotch line from I got my thigh circumference is 24 divided by 2 is 12. So I divide the 12 inches again by 2, which is 6 here, okay? So I divide it by 2, that gives me 6. So I'm going to mark that 6 inches on the other side like you see me doing, okay? So I'm going to extend this line out because this is an A-line short pant, okay? I'm making an A-line short pant, as you can see. So I mark 1 inch out again, okay? I mark 1 inch out, and also I mark 1 inch. I added 1 inch again to the inseam. All right, so I'm going to connect it, all my markings. I'm adding a hemming allowance, which is 1.5 inch. So from the side, okay, from my inseam, I add 0.5 inch from my inseam. From my crotch line, I also add 0.5 inch joining allowance, okay? All this allowance is for joining. Then the side, I add 1 inch for join the side joining. Okay, so I'm just going to connect all this marking to round up with the back pattern. Oh no, the front pattern rather. So this is my front pattern. Okay guys, so here is my back pattern, which I'm gonna head to draw out the line of camera. So I kept allowance of 3 inches from the side and then 2.5 inches from the waistline. Okay, and then my hip line is 7.75, the crotch is 9.75, and then the short length is 18 inches. So that is it. So next, now I'm going to be marking my horizontal measurement, which is my round hip circumference, my round waist circumference. So for my crotch line, I'm going to be marking 10.5 inches. So I'm going to add 0.75 for each allowance for my crotch line. Okay, I'm not going to add this to my waistline. It's only on my crotch line because I want to have that ease movement around my butt. Okay, so from my waistline, I'm going to just mark exactly 9.75. Then I'm going to minus 1.125 for butt elimination. Okay, and then I'm going to connect it like so. So the next thing I'm going to do, from the center back, I'm going to raise it with 1.5. You can raise it with 2 inches. I recommend you to raise it with 2 inches, okay? So from that 1.5, I'm going to place my tape slightly, and I will mark the quarter of my waist circumference plus the dart intake, which is 8 inches, okay? Just like you see me doing, and then I'm going to connect the line together. So I will use my French curve rule to connect from my waistline to my hip line. So now the next thing, now I'm going to find the midpoint between my waistline. So that is my midpoint, okay? From my hip line, I'm going to go up by 2 inches. So the remaining excess line, I'm going to use it as my dart length. So I'm going to mark 0.5 inch on both sides, okay? And then I'm going to connect my dart. So that is my dart. So then next I'm going to place my curve rule at my crotch extension like you see me doing, okay? I'm going to connect it like you see me doing, right? So now we are done. So the next thing, now I'm going to find the midpoint here. So the midpoint is for 7.25. I will get to repeat the same thing on my hemming line, okay? So I will be extending this line out since we are working with an A-line shape, okay? So from this line here, I'm going to mark 1.5 inches because I'm working with an A-line pattern, okay? So from the inseam, okay, I'm going to be marking the 7.25 plus 0.5 inch, okay? So I add an ease allowance 0.5 inch there, and then I'm going to just connect it like you see me doing, okay, to meet to the crotch line. So I will place my tape, my ruler like you see me doing, and then I connect all this, okay? So move on to the center back. I need to mark my zip allowance, which is 1 inch, okay? My zip allowance is 1 inch, and here is the length of my zip from my waistline to the hip line. That is the length of my zip, and I'm going to connect this line like you see me doing, okay? So that is my zip allowance. I'm going to label it zip allowance. So here is my zip allowance, and also I'm going to be adding 0.5 inch from here, okay? I'm going to mark 0.5 inch all the way, okay, to the end of my crotch extension, just the way you see me doing, okay? I will be adding my joining allowance at this point. From my inseam, I add 0.5 inch from my inseam, and then from the hemming allowance, I add 1.5 inches for the fold, and then I'm going to extend this line. The side seam, I add 1 inches, okay? I add 1 inch for side joining, okay? Just like I did to the front. So I will connect all this marking like this, okay, to create my back pattern. So my back pattern is almost ready, okay? I hope you learned something new from this channel today. If you do, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Help me share this video. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, you can do so now so you will not miss out on any tutorial that will come in future, the sewing tutorial of this pattern, okay? So the next, now I'm going to cut out all the unwanted parts that I don't need from my patterns, okay? So this is my front patterns. Okay, this is my front pattern, and this is my back pattern as well. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you're yet to subscribe, like I said, do subscribe so that you will not miss out the sewing tutorial. Okay, and also please help me share this video. Help me share this video so it will meet us some people who may need this tutorial. Okay, so I'm labeling my pattern so I will know which one belongs to which one. Okay, so stay tuned. I will see you on the sewing pattern, okay, or on the sewing tutorial. Have a blessed day and Merry Christmas in advance.